Yeah, I mean, the old joke is like my ancestors didn't come to the United States to see it overrun by a bunch of foreigners. And I do think like I think this is kind of a cynical take, but sort of immigrants and their descendants have fully assimilated when they become just as skeptical of immigration as like the long settled native born population, right? I mean, and skepticism of immigration has been part of American history forever, just like support for immigration has also been part of American history. So you see like these pamphlets written by Benjamin Franklin. I think they were shortly before the Revolution, where he was arguing that like Germans are coming, these swarthy Germans in his language were coming to Pennsylvania, and they weren't going to assimilate, and everyone was going to speak German, and all this like fear mongering and this and that. So that's just been part of it. And the arguments that people used in the past against immigrants, against Germans and Irish and Italians and others, are pretty much the same ones that they use today against Mexicans, Central Americans, Asians, etc. here. So it's really just part of it. And I think it probably goes back to like our it's probably like DNA encoded in some way, like our ancestors evolved in small bands of homogeneous groups, on the savannah or other places around the world. And at a time when there really was zero-sum competition, like if more people move in and they kill the animals you're hunting, that's fewer animals for you. So it kind of makes sense that like this sort of like proto-nativism evolved in humans to protect themselves and their kin. But it's just totally inappropriate for the modern world,
right?
Thanks to free markets and exchange and capitalism. So, but our DNA evolves a lot more slowly than our social and economic institutions. So we're sort of stuck with this. On one hand, for immigration gives us an enormous amount of prosperity. On the other hand, our psychology and sort of evolved wisdom over time says, hey, be skeptical about this. And so it's just this constant, fear of the others, fear of outsiders. And that could definitely be valuable at times, right? I don't want to say it's entirely worthless. But nowadays the costs are gigantic, both in terms of like human rights, but also in terms of economics, both for native born Americans and for immigrants.